Still okay? Multifamily, the big white ones on Harris Hill,
Yeah.
on the west side there. And there's been one patio home built way in the back, just sitting there like, so this came.
It got sold, the whole development got sold.
Pardon?
The whole development got sold.
Is that, so now they're starting to,
Morano bought it and
they're
they
gonna
got,
finish those?
yeah, they got, there's 2 more under construction right now.
Well, for the life of me, I thought, I don't remember proving that. And
Oh,
then,
yeah.
of course, I did.
Yeah.
Then I figured out where they were talking about. Of course we did.
Yeah.
But it's been languishing for so long.
Hamlet Meadows.
Pardon?
Hamlet Meadows.
I can't remember the name,
Yeah.
my own name.
Yeah, that
I've heard name tags a lot.
That
For that reason.
was, that was originally by Natali. And then-
Yes.
Do you write them backwards? You can read it in there.
Yeah, you know, the Victorians had watches that they wore hanging upside down so they could lift it up and see the time. That's me.
They sold it to, they sold it to Morano.
Well, I'm happy to see it, you know?
Where is it?
Right next to the Belvedere,
Just before,
Tennessee.
Worley,
just
Worley.
before Worley on
Worley.
Harris Hill on the west side.
right next to the Belvedere.
Right.
It's the
That big senior housing, senior building, whatever it is.
Big buildings on
Apartment.
the west side, back
Those
in
apartments
there.
are
And then
condos, they're apartments.
on the north end, there's like.
I'm surprised the construction
Place
is going in there.
Okay, I think
And way in the
yes,
back,
yes,
there's one.
yeah.
And out front, there's 2 houses kind of surrounded by.
yeah.
I know where it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Boy, it took me a while to figure it out. It's great.
Yeah, because Natalie built the,
They built.
The big building.
They built the big building.
yeah, yeah.
I think that might have been one of the buildings that, no, maybe not that one, but Matt, you were instrumental in saying they got to break up the sides. For a time there, some of these big buildings were just a square mile of vinyl siding, you know? Or maybe it was the ones, no, maybe it was the ones off Broadway that, you gotta do something to bust on the sides. Do some things and outs. I mean, they were just
Those cost them.
I think I'm gonna have a comment like that on the Chipotle.
Where the office park is there, the little office park?
All right.
I don't know, I've got Walmart, when that came through, I thought, it's Lancaster because the design we had was the one that's all over Arizona.
There's an offset requirement too for the limit.
It's the cheapest one. And no one said, yeah, she's right. All different guys.
Did I see her right?
Remember
Did I-
Walmart when they came in that crappy, we have that crappy design?
You know you're being recorded.
I know, but compared to some of the Walmarts out west, which were all fit the characters in neighborhood, we said something like, can you make the building look something more manufacturing? Like town hall or
Right.
something, you know? Because the one in Hamburg was totally redesigned to look like the golf.
Yeah, it's got the pillars and.
Yeah, the colonnade and everything.
Yeah. Like,
It's just one more battle.
I don't think there's many.
You have to pick them.
Okay, it's 7 o'clock. We're going to start by reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, if you wouldn't mind standing, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Cindy.
Jerry Benson,
Here.
Rebecca Anderson.
Here.
John Lopez.
Here.
Anthony Gorski.
Here.
Joseph Keith.
Here.
Lawrence Koroneski.
Here.
Michael Randall.
Here.
Full house. Haven't had that in a while. Okay, welcome everyone. This is a meeting of the Planning Board for the Town of Lancaster. Please keep in mind that we are an advisory and recommending board and not a final decision-making body. At this point, we're going to ask the board to review the meeting minutes from March 18th and ask for any changes. Hearing none, look for a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. All right, next we're going to ask the board members to take a look at the communications list that's in front of them for today's meeting. All right, we're going to, our first case is going to involve a public hearing, so our public hearing is scheduled for 7:05. We're going to have to wait till 7:05 for our public hearing to start. While we're waiting, I'll just remind the board members that we're going to be having we're going to conduct a training for the board members on special use permits after we finish hearing our cases today. Okay, I have 7:05. So we will start by looking for a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Okay, great. Our first case will be project number 8810, minor subdivision for 4106 Walden Avenue, Eastport Commerce Center.
Good evening, everyone. Kevin Kirk, Director of Planning and Design with Uniland Development.
As you mentioned, here requesting subdivision approval at Eastport Commerce Center. Essentially, what we have is the entire site is about 120 acres. Recently, within the last couple of years, we were here and we subdivided the parcel that's labeled 700 Eastport. That is now owned by Next Era. They built their facility out there and they're operating currently. What we're looking to subdivide from this is the parcel to the east. If you don't mind flipping to the next. The parcel highlighted in red, which is our smaller industrial buildings that we recently finished, 3 of them. We have proposed 6. We're halfway through the phase right now. But we're looking to subdivide that parcel, simple purposes, but more for addressing and emergency services and all. And you know, we struggle a little bit with that one. So. Generally speaking, it's pretty cut and dry, so if anybody has any questions, happy to answer them.
Ask the board if they have any questions or comments.
I'm glad it didn't turn out to be the residential proposition from a few years ago. This is a much better
It's a little simpler.
fit for that land.
Appreciate
certainly.
that.
Me too.
I remember that.
We didn't go for it.
I'm well aware.
And we didn't.
He wouldn't be standing in front of us.
No.
We knew you'd do it.
Yeah,
Hopefully I'm back with some other stuff soon, so.
yeah, we
Ah,
have
good.
faith. We have faith. We've been waiting.
Yep.
patiently. I think this is fine. The subdivision, I mean, we get it.
Okay. Any other questions or comments from the board? Ed, anything from engineering?
No, not subdivision.
Matt, anything from building?
Not on subdivision, no.
Brad, anything from legal? At this point, we'll open up to the public for any comments. Pardon? Oh, yeah, anyone from the public have any comments? I have to ask 3 times, right? No? We don't have to?
No, it's not like a mortgage.
Okay, good.
We're for closing.
That's good. So then I'll look for a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. All right, we'll move on to seeker for the same project. Mr. Kirk, you can probably have a seat.
Sounds good. Appreciate that.
Will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulations?
No.
Will the proposed action result in change in the use or intensity of use of land?
No.
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community?
No.
No.
Question number 4 is regarding a critical environmental area, and the town of Lancaster has not established one, so it will be not applicable. Question 5, will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway?
No.
Number 6, will the proposed action cause an increase in use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities? Number 7, will the proposed action impact existing public or private water supplies,
No.
public or private wastewater treatment utilities?
No.
Will the proposed, number 8, will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources?
No.
Number 9, will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources?
No.
No. Number 10, will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems?
No.
Number 11, will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health?
No.
Okay. Then I will look for a motion.
To recommend a negative deck?
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Okay, and then we've got our, see here, preliminary plat, right? Preliminary plat?
Yes.
Yeah. We've asked all our, I'll ask the board if they have any questions or comments.
No.
No?
Nothing.
Ed, anything from engineering? Preliminary plat? No? Matt, anything from building? Sir. Brad, anything from legal? Anybody in the public have any comments? Okay, then we'll look for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve a preliminary plan as provided to the planning board.
Second.
P, 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 P.
Pleased to second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. We'll make our recommendation to the town board. Thank you very much, Mr. Kirk. All right, we'll move on to our second case of the evening. Agenda here.
It is.
It is project number 2303, major subdivision of 351 Pavement Road. Hello.
Good evening, Mark Romanowski from Up Fallscraft. Nice to see you guys again. We are here again now on the application for both a sketch plan review by this board as well as a rezoning recommendation with respect to the proposed residential subdivision of 351 Pavement. We've been actually in front of you guys, I think, 2 times on this project, or at least in front of the town board and 1 time in front of you regarding this particular application. This is a 88-acre site that was formerly a sand and gravel mine, and as a result, there's a giant lake in the middle of it, which makes it basically impossible to reuse for industrial purposes. So my client's looking to repurpose it for residential units for 96 residential lots on this site. And of course, in order to facilitate that, we have to rezone it from the current industrial zoning over to single-family residential. Next slide. This is the basic site layout, and of course, we're going to be coming back with a preliminary plat application package after we get through the rezoning process. We have to get through that first. But the layout we anticipate will largely stay the same. So as you can see, it's a pretty basic loop layout that surrounds the lake. There are wetlands at the far east of the site. We won't be touching them in any way. We're outside of the both the it's a federal and state wetlands, and we're going to keep outside of the 100-foot buffer area to keep outside of the state wetland buffer area that's required. And otherwise, the development is on areas that have already been disturbed as part of the past activities out on the site. The lots will vary in size, some, plus or minus an acre, give or take. Obviously, some will be less, given the overall lot size and the number of lots. The idea is to create walking paths around it, around the whole subdivision, around the lake as well, make the lake an amenity for the subdivision, so it's something that the residents can use on the site. The lake will also serve as the stormwater detention area as well, so we don't have to discharge off-site in any direction. We can keep all of our discharges on-site as well. The streets, the roads, the way the roads are constructed is to town standards, so they're the appropriate width to meet town standards. All those details obviously will get worked out in greater detail when we come back on the subdivision application itself. Next slide. This is a similar slide, but we get into the level of lot coverage. So the lot coverage here is where we have actually 41% green space on the site, so we're above the town's requirement of 25%, so we exceed that largely around the perimeters of the site. We also can maintain the minimum 45-foot buffer that's required as well. So as far as a green space on this site, where we can easily meet those requirements. The pond itself is about 12 acres. And we're going to add some amenities to that so that people dock and a beach area and things of that nature, so people can use it from the neighborhood. The wooded areas around the wetlands themselves will remain untouched. So there'll still be a natural buffer there, as well as the wooded areas along the perimeter. Next slide, please. This is just basic and initial utility infrastructure and stormwater management we talked about a little bit. This site is served by public utilities, so we won't have any problem with providing sewer, electricity, gas, et cetera. The stormwater, as I mentioned earlier, will make its way. It's all designed to pitch to the pond, so it won't need to leave the site in any way. Next slide. Here I spoke a little bit earlier about the area at the far end of the site where the wetlands are located. This isn't a mapped state wetland. This is under the new regulations, whereby if certain criteria are met in what's considered an urban area, and the town of Lancaster meets that definition, it would potentially qualify. We have a confirming letter from the DEC confirming the delineation that Scott Livingston had done, which matched the federal and the state wetlands, effectively matched one another, so the DEC agreed with that. There's no disturbance going to occur in those wetlands or within the buffer area. We don't have to disturb those areas. Next slide is more on the, please, if you would. That's the wetland map itself. So that's a delineation that Scott did out there. And as you can see, it's the far east side that has the wetlands on it. Next slide. I quickly went through the bulk standards as far as what's applicable in the R1 district for a subdivision of this nature, and we can meet all of those standards, so we won't need to get any variances for this development, which, of course, is preferable when you're doing a subdivision like this. And then our last slide, we also looked at, how does this respond to the comprehensive plan? I know there's been an expression of desire for industrial space in this town, but as we've talked about previously, this site doesn't lend itself to it because there's not a big enough footprint with the lake and the pond in there. But otherwise, this is in an area near other residential development, so it's at least in proximity to other residential development. It's not going to cause any significant traffic impacts. And it provides, we consider this to be a sort of a higher end development with larger lots and more amenities for the ultimate homeowners in that area. So that's the intent for this development. So that's the overview of the project. With me tonight is Doug Eldridge, right behind me, who's the engineer on the project, Paul Marinaccio, who's the owner and developer, and we're happy to answer any questions that you might have regarding the applications.
At this point, we'll open up to the board for any questions or comments.
You guys gotta have something.
Do you know how active that runway is to the north?
I don't know, but it's an answer I could get
It's
you.
close, that's the only reason I'm asking.
Yeah, and there's other residential development in the vicinity of it as well, so
Not a ton, though.
on the other side of the railroad tracks there is, so,
It's real busy on weekends.
yeah, so,
Flying lessons and things out of there. At least there used to be, I don't know if it's still going on.
we,
Did you get the letter from Matt with some of the items on it?
I'm not sure I
Dated
saw,
3/6/2026, it says that you were sent an email copy. There were several items
It's Matt's comments that came from his review.
from Matt.
yeah, I think I saw that particular letter, sure.
So you got the comment about reconfiguring some of the sublots so they're outside the buffer?
Yeah, we're going to look at doing that when we come back with the preliminary plat application. We'll respond to those, because some of them they were more technical in nature, so it felt appropriate to address it at that stage.
Oh, that's right. What kind of a sewer system are you planning on putting in?
I'm going to let Doug answer that question.
You're talking about, sorry, you're talking about sanitary sewer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand the stormwater is going into the pond, which means no one should ever be swimming in it.
What? The stormwater is going in.
The stormwater is going into the pond.
Yeah.
The stormwater is polluted.
Well, we're going to send it through a water quality structure before it discharges to the pond.
I would hope.
So, in every case, every discharge point.
Okay, but what about the sanitary?
The sanitary sewer, there's a sanitary manhole to the south on Pavement Road. So we'll collect the sewage on site, and most of it, well, some of it will go by gravity, and then the rest of it has to go from a pump station down there just because of elevations.
It's a privately owned pump station then?
No, well,
Oh, yeah. I
What?
can't imagine, is this Erie County Sewer District number 4?
I'm
I
sorry?
can't imagine them taking over a
They have.
pump station
They have.
because we've had other subdivisions come through in District 4 in the past 15 years, I'm going to say, that failed because the town is not taking over, county's not taking over pump station.
Huh,
So be aware.
okay.
because-
Well, at least we've got an entity out here with the homeowners association that can provide a routine maintenance type schedule.
Yeah, I hope you
Yep.
don't have to do a package plant, because then they have to own that too.
Package-
Package plant is an on-site wastewater treatment system.
I'm sorry, package plant for the pump station?
Well, as long as you can have a privately owned pump,
Yeah.
but if you have to do a privately owned wastewater treatment system.
Oh, no,
Okay.
we're pumping to the existing sewer that goes into the treatment plant.
Okay, so
We're not treating the sewage on
Does it
site,
go north?
to the south.
Goes to
I forget the name of the road to the south.
Down towards Westwood.
Pardon?
Down towards Westwood.
Thank you.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Victor picks up there.
In fact, Paul put the sewer in.
Victor picks- Pardon?
Paul put the sewer in out there, so he knows exactly where it is.
But District 4 owns a lot of pump, they've taken a lot of pump stations.
They didn't.
They what?
Couple
sorry.
others recently.
He said that they
I
own,
mean,
Yeah, I mean,
They
it's,
They took Windsor Ridge, they've taken the one at the corner of Worley and Harris Hill,
yeah, it makes more sense because they have the
that's right. And that was right
expertise.
in the middle of the office park that they took ownership.
Okay.
well, that's certainly something you'll have to work through.
You have to
Yeah, you'll have to-
make sure you're right and I'm wrong, you know, because I remember a few others at the third district.
Well, it could be for private drive situations, things like that as well.
I think it may have been if there were flat sewers. I
Flat
think
sewers.
there may have been flat sewers, not enough pitch.
Oh, they're all grinders coming out of the houses? It'll be different.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't take the grinders.
And another question is, you know, this road is a heavily traveled truck route.
No.
Okay?
It is an official, not official, but it is heavily traveled with dump trucks and
Yeah, it's not,
box trucks, thank you, and they travel in both directions. Tony, you live near there, where you come out, you see a lot of trucks, don't you?
I would totally expect the county to require a traffic study. Traffic study
Well, I would,
by the county.
yeah. But it's.
It's good sight distance at the intersections.
Well, the Heritage Trail crosses here.
I'm sorry?
The Heritage Trail,
Yes,
were you planning on hooking up to that?
yes.
Do you know it, are you planning on being a two-way pathway? So people off the Heritage Trail can loop your trails?
Uh,
I think it's connected on here.
I see it's connected on the plan.
Well, it's connected. I don't know as the intent would be for people to come
How are you possibly?
from the trail onto the property. I don't know if we exclude them either, but
Then why should private property hook onto the trail?
so the
Can't
people
go
in
both ways.
so people in the site can get onto the trail.
They can go out around and come down the street.
Well, it doesn't seem like a safe solution, though, does it?
Well, I don't see where the town really needs to address having a private pathway hooking into a public use and then having to police it, or having
Public, people that live in the neighborhood, Rebecca? I mean, are we saying we're going to exclude
people
people from
who,
this neighborhood? from
that
using
bike
the-
path is heavily used.
Okay, why can't these people use it?
And so why can't people from the bike path come up?
Because
A path is a path is a path.
If the town wants to take it, we will dedicate it to
I'm just asking, I'm just
them. I'm just
asking.
responding.
I'm just asking to see if there's any reason why you're going along the bike path and you see this connection and people take it.
It's
That you're not planning.
it's a matter of
on having
convenience and
people
safety to tie in from the trail onto it.
I just don't want somebody who's out there with their, using the public pathway, coming up your pathway and getting arrested for trespass.
Well, if it's a public road. The roads in there will be public.
No, I think what
No,
you're saying
I'm
is
saying
keep
bike
the
path.
public going on to this path.
Well, I don't know who's gonna own the pathway in here, is it HOA?
That's the intent.
Yes,
Same thing with the pond.
Yeah.
yes.
It's a similar situation, I think, that, I was going to ask the question about the pond and the community as a whole, not just the neighborhood, but the community as a whole coming and trying to drop a canoe in there or kayak and pedal.
Yeah, I mean, we have, is it 4 or 5 parcels that are going to be owned by the HOA and maintained by the HOA. So they can maintain the trails and, of course, all the amenities that go along with the lake. They would maintain all those amenities, the beach and the docks and boat storage areas, things like that. So the HOA will actually own the parcels, about 38 acres, I think it was. So it's a good bit of land, and it's good that you have an entity on site that can maintain things.
We haven't given up general industrial forever. It's the same thing that happened with the applicant that was just here earlier, Eastport. We can't build, give us residential, and we said no. Someone will come along, and they did. How's that different from this?
Well, you know, as we mentioned to the town board when we presented this to them, again, it's the pond in the middle of it. So they have industrial sites, quite frankly, a minimum needs to be 10 to 20 acres. And what you end up having here with the pond in the middle of it is an inability to put one large or 2 large lots on it, especially with the wetlands around the perimeter. So we had already broached the subject with the town board before we put this application, and they were receptive to it under the circumstances.
This came from here and went to the town board over?
No, we went to the town board previously,
Town
just
board
as a,
first.
as a
All right.
sort of a courtesy introduction on the project.
The lake,
Yep,
drainage into it?
correct. So through those,
I'm just picturing, what do we have on Nectar and
Oh, that's
pavement?
like Lorelei.
Lake Lorelei.
That's spring-fed, so is
Oh.
this one,
And-
probably.
No, I don't know about that, because it's never filled up.
Okay, because the Lake Lorelei is clearly spring-fed. These were sand quarries, I believe.
No, they took clay out of this
Did
one.
they? Okay.
play out of this one.
Okay.
And the point is that they had a bunch of problems with washing out property and things like that based upon, and they had, but I'm not sure if you remember, they sued the developer,
Yeah,
sue the
it's right
town.
here.
And as a result of that, they had to come back to this board for some relief on whatever they were going to do in order to rectify that problem that was created by making that subdivision around Lake Lorelei.
Right, right.
I'm just wondering if
Well, we'll look
this is-
into
if this is
this,
similar.
we'll look into
to
the
that.
circumstances to make
Right.
sure, you know, I understand the concern and we could address it.
I think what I'm hearing too is Lake Lorelei was a lake, and it was a swimming club for years. Cold swimming, but a swimming.
Willow Beach.
What was it?
Willow Beach.
Willow Beach, yeah, right. George O'Neill was real active in that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and I look at this air photo, which we all have, but not from, I think it was from,
Kevin?
from Eastport. This is a plan that came to us from Eastport. But it clearly shows you don't actually have much of a lake on this one. You have like a mud pit.
Yeah, I mean, I lived there for 20-some years already, and I've never seen that fill up.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's dug out so that it doesn't fill up and the water drains out. I can't answer
Sure,
that. But
sure.
since it hasn't filled up, I guess I would question, is it even going to hold water?
Good question.
Well, it holds some water, so we're expecting it'll hold additional water. It's probably sitting at water table level at this point, most likely, especially if they dug all the clay out.
I'm kind of hearing what Larry's been saying. When you look at this overall, this came from Eastport. It came in your Eastport package. And it shows all the industrial uses all around here. And you did mention, you know, there's residential nearby. Well, that's true. But there's a lot more industrial than there is residential.
Yeah, certainly with the proximity to Walden over there, that makes sense.
That's why
Yeah.
I put it there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, we understand why the zoning was, I take no offense to that, I understand why the zoning was the way it was.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But your position is that the site has too many
It's got unique limitations to it.
limitations.
You know, Kevin's site that he just came from is relatively flat, no wetlands on it, easy to develop,
Yep.
no ponds. So it's a different animal. We have streams going through here. I mean, this just isn't a site we can cover up and pave over.
What about this right-of-way to National Fuel Gas? Matt addresses it in this letter. What kind of an issue is that for a housing development?
It isn't, as long as you maintain appropriate distances. That's fairly common, especially on properties like this where you're near, you know, rail lines and things of that nature where it's easy to run corridors. It's pretty common. So we're not too, it'll be something that shows up in the deeds. There'll be restrictions on what you can do near it, but nothing that we see.
Because recently on, I think it was Swartz Road, National Fuel had to redo the whole underground line going from Swartz Road all the way to Broadway behind.
They did this one too, it was all part of the same project.
Pardon?
It was all part of the same project.
Yeah.
So they did this one also.
Oh, okay.
They crossed
It
the-
went right through this property and it went across to Walden and over to Pleasant View, and it's all the same gas line. They redid the whole thing.
They went through, yeah, because they went right through Cross Creek.
What would ever happen if they'd have to dig it up like they did on Swartz Road?
Well, it's the same as any, you can't build on it anyways, so
Yeah,
we have to maintain access to it.
yeah.
Is it 15 foot wide or more?
I'd have to look at it, I don't
At
remember
least
what
50
it
foot,
is.
if not wider.
Yeah, total width, usually they do like 25 on either
Could be
side,
100.
kind of thing.
Oh, it says
It might be 100.
It depends on the size of the line. You remember?
100 foot.
It's 100 foot.
100
It's 100
100
foot.
foot, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Plenty of room to work.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
Is there anything that has to be done with the current mining permit to,
I believe that permit
Close
is
this out so we can
is
even rezone.
expired at this point, and the restoration was done, which is why the
all the
site's in.
reclamation's done?
Yeah,
That's all set in it?
yeah, to close out the permit, you have to do that.
Do other developments have that access you were talking about to the Heritage Trail? Not really that, I've done it a couple times, I'm not like.
I'm sorry, what?
Do other developments have access, like you're talking about, directly to the trail?
Zero.
Okay. So you understand what she's saying, right? She's not saying the residents can't use the trail. Your argument is that they have to safely get to it. I have to drive to it. I'm a resident of Lancaster. I think that's what Rebecca's saying, is that there's definitely benefit to tying into it. That would be a huge selling point. But I get your
Why?
thought on
Yeah.
it. I don't know that it's negative to have access to it. But I mean,
The
that
only
just popped in my head as I was looking at the map.
Well, what's negative about it is if somebody's on the trail and sees, oh, look at this cute little trail.
Right.
And we start riding our bikes and we're saying, you know, we're going around this pond and people are yelling at you and who are you and why are you trespassing on private property? And if you put signs up, they're not gonna last long.
Yeah, inevitably, that's 100% going to happen. Trespassing signs are not.
Right.
Inevitably, no matter what, someone's going to make a right.
Right. And so then
I'd be curious. I know
people are
it's,
gonna say, I don't want those people riding their bikes behind my house.
Yeah.
I'm just heard this before. The only thing that's been changed on the Heritage Trail, the last time I rode it was like maybe December before it snowed. This pipeline did a big crossing, but they actually bored under it. They didn't cut the trail at all, they bored under
yeah,
it.
I saw that. That's
The
what I was
gas,
over
the
there.
gas pipeline did not disturb the use of the trail. And then you just come down a little bit and that's where your connection would be. There are no other private developments with a prepared access. There's some ATV trails that cross, you know, but they're not authorized. They're just people cross.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing.
I'm going to recuse myself because I live so close, but I personally think it just should stay the current zoning. It's my opinion.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
should probably recuse myself. I have relations with the owner. Business.
Okay.
We're
Ed.
not voting on anything tonight.
Any
Well, we
voting,
may.
I guess.
We may? Okay.
Ed, anything from engineering?
Not with the sketch, no. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to go through if it gets past that, but the sketch, I mean, everything's kind of laid out. It's clear what they're doing. You know, I don't see any, at this level of detail, it's all there.
Okay. Matt, anything from building?
The only question I have is the closed reclamation permit available? Is it public information?
Yeah, we could get it to you guys.
You know, letter
Yeah.
from DEC saying,
Yeah, the
You're not
permit,
closed and
they'll
satisfied.
give you a permit closure.
Yeah, just so that it's somewhere. 'cause
Yeah.
when I
We can get it
looked
for you.
We just didn't have it. I appreciate that.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. That's all.
Hey, Brad, I think that, my opinion is that as far as rezone goes, we should probably table the rezone. Does that seem adequate?
That seems possible. It's the board's choice. I think it's an option. I don't want to speak for the board. But if you feel that's appropriate.
the only thing I'll ask is then what do you need to continue with the rezone?
You gotta rezone first before you can make a sketch plan, but if you're not gonna grant the rezone, who cares what the sketch plan does say?
Right.
But it's required for the rezone.
Catch
Yeah,
22.
I guess,
Catch
you know, what,
22.
Yeah.
what remaining questions are there regarding the rezoning request?
I'm not so sure that I'm in favor of a rezone here either. I just look at it from the point of view of so much industrial use around it. And that airport is either busy or not busy, but when it's busy, the residents around complain. And wasn't there a plane that fell out of the sky?
Yeah.
Did some guy crash and kill?
Young kid?
Yeah, a youngster in a guy training flight or something. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm not in favor of this rezone.
Is there a means that we have to evaluate, like to send, I don't know, something out to determine how feasible it is, probable it is to get industrial interest in this area? Because if it is unusable, then we have it zoned in a way that's unusable. Is that what we want? I don't know. I mean, is there, like, if we need an agricultural study or we need a tree study, we send in specialists. Do we have anything in that world that would, I don't know, an actuary of some sort that would look at the land and say this is possible?
No, to be honest with you, this site comes down to an engineering analysis of can you put a large enough industrial building on that site to make it work?
But we have
The
other
problem
places.
you've got is you've got the topography of a mine and a lake in the middle. And so where do you put a building?
But we have other places that don't have big buildings. What did Uniland just do? A bunch of smaller ones.
Yeah, and that would not have fit on this site because of the way the site is.
And when you do sites like that, you're doing all the infrastructure at once and you're sharing the costs across multiple sites. Here you have all the infrastructure cost and maybe one site. And you're competing against other sites that are better. The Uniland site, so if someone looking for a site of the 10-ish acre size is going to go to Uniland all day long.
True, but they did sit for a long time.
Right, and they sat for a long time. So you've got a site that's more readily developable, that's sat and will continue to sit, and then you're going to hold this parcel up and continue to have this sit. Because this is less attractive.
It's all price dependent.
There you go.
It's construction cost dependent. Sure.
No, I was just going to add that, well, like Mark says, there are a lot of sites available out there that are better located for any type of industrial development. You know, one of the things that's important is access. This doesn't have great access to, the thruway or anything like that. You have a number of IDAs that have shovel-ready sites throughout. I know they had, in Livingston County, I worked on a number of them. There's just, this is more of an interior type of site than it is something that's adjacent to a highway or something along those lines, that's going to be more attractive for industrial development. If it was going to be developed, it had, many, many years here that it could have been developed if it was attractive to someone. But all I'm saying is there just isn't, there's so many other sites that are more accessible, they're more valuable for industrial type development than this one that's, on a secondary road, for one thing. It's not next to the highway, all that kind of stuff, especially in consideration of all the sites that are available, that have accessibility, they have, they've been specifically designed, they're shovel-ready, all that type of stuff. This is not. So anyways, it's my opinion. This is not really a site that's ever going to be developed for industrial. There's just too much competition of sites that are better suited.
Well, we certainly value your opinion. That's, you're, a subject matter expert, if you will. And as John was talking about, we're looking for as much information as we can get to make our determination.
Sure.
So, thank you very much for that.
Sure.
I think you have to also consider how much residential development's going on in the town.
Pardon me?
I said, I think you also have to be cognitive of how much other residential development is going on in the town.
Well, I think the nice
Do
thing
we
about...
really need another residential development of this size? Opposed
my
to
understanding-
leaving it industrial?
My understanding is the town was more concerned about apartments or smaller size lots. That's why we specifically wanted to do this with zoning specific lot sizes. They'll have kids, they can support the school district. Most school districts are lacking kids. I can't say that I've looked this up.
This one's not looking for
You don't?
lacking
Okay.
kids. No.
Most school districts are lacking kids nowadays, but if they're not, they're not. But, it's a good good family community.
Yeah, I don't think the plan is a negative plan. I don't think you're wanting to build something crappy.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course. No, it'll be first class.
But, yeah,
Let's see the expense.
there was a lot of conversation prior to this about, they zoned for a reason, they took the time to map it. That's the trepidation. That's the only trepidation I have, because I like the plan. It looks cool.
There are definitely some questions that were raised today, that are probably things that you should think about if you continue on with the project. The pathway being one of them, and the entry into the pathway.
I'm sorry, the what?
The pathway and the entry into the Heritage Trail, sorry.
In that regard, we'll just do whatever the board wants.
Yeah, I mean, so there are some things that at least give me cause for pause, if you will. But I don't disagree with what you're saying.
Yeah, and those items can be dealt with in the preliminary plat review process, so,
Yep.
because those are design issues. We're not here before you have design
Sure,
issues.
sure, I understand.
Yeah, the positives to me, I'm seeing a development it's a lot of houses, but it's in an area, it seems like the access is not as bogged up as some of the roads we've seen. It seems like a nice community. Cheektowaga surrounds the airport. I guess houses surround airports. So I mean, it's positive in that, but it's industrial.
Who owns the road?
County road, that's why I
I
said,
guess that would be my first question. is-
they're gonna request a traffic study, I know that.
Will the county agree to 2 curb cuts on that road? And I travel that road all the time because I live on Westwood. And visibility and getting in and out of that place is gonna be a nightmare
You're talking about pavement?
when you have another 100 cars.
These are other reasons
Okay.
why it's rezoned industrial.
See, I'm
These-
looking at it up on.
These driveways,
So you're coming over a hill from
Line.
Walden, and then you're coming up a hill, coming from the south, passing the bike path.
yeah, but there's still good distance, sight distance.
It's a big lot.
Not when you're trying to cross on your bicycle.
I love to ride bikes, so.
Matt, is there anything you could add to our discussion here?
Just for administrative purposes, I'm going to read right out of our code for amending zoning districts. Again, this is after receipt of the petition and the distribution and hopefully the 30-day response from the pertinent agencies from throughout the town. Subsection B, the planning board shall review the petition and development plan and evaluate reports received from reviewing agencies and officials within 60 days following the receipt by the town clerk and after holding a public meeting on the petition. The planning board shall furnish the town board and applicant either its findings that the proposed rezone complies with the comprehensive plan and the regulation standards, intent, and objectives of this chapter or finding, or of any failure of such compliance with the recommendation that rezoning be approved, disapproved, or modified.
This is after.
That's administrative right out of the code. So I mean, I think we're at that step right now. I'm hoping that we've received all of the recommendations, comments, whatever it is from our town agencies that are required to reply to this planning board or to the response of the application.
Is the planning board, so would that include approval or disapproval now or before we vote on it from the county, whether or not they would give them to curb cuts?
And that's regarding sketch plan. We're talking about the rezoning of the property with, with the intent of moving forward with the sketch plan. And again, it's, the duty here is within 60 days after this hearing and reviewing all the other comments to make a recommendation to the town board on either 3 of those levels.
So what happens if the town board were to, or the planning board were to approve the rezone, then we're stuck with that rezone, even if they can't get the 2 curb cuts?
Well, the rezoning would rezone a parcel, and then from there, I mean, the town could always revert back if it chooses. The town board controls the rezoning. The questions that, have been raised regarding traffic and sightlines and things of that nature will be reviewed during the subdivision plat process, where all that information has to be provided. So it's, by going forward with the rezoning, you're not blessing the design, you're just saying we support the application for the rezone, but there are, design elements that still need to be worked on.
Do you need a public hearing?
Before the public hearing happens at a town board level for the rezone itself after the recommendation. And again, the codification change that came for rezone applications was to have some sort of a design review pretty much running the same time as the rezone. We have to know what we're rezoning the property specifically for, not just rezone the property and hopefully somebody submits an application 5 years from now.
So that's why we did this.
That's where the board has that opportunity to, if the thing goes south and the plan doesn't work out well from the design aspects of the project, they don't have to approve the rezone.
And they can always reverse it. I mean, you remember that one on Broadway, was it Broadway?
That one expired.
Carroll Hardwood.
That one expired.
Well, the rezone didn't, they reversed the rezone.
And you can
The
place
project is
specific
expired.
conditions on the rezone too, so even your recommendation, you would say, you're concerned about traffic.
Because the best you're gonna get out of the county is, yeah, we let one go.
Like we do with anything else.
If it was designed correctly, we'd approve it,
Did we receive any comments from fire departments, parks?
We did not receive any from fire. I don't think we got them from police yet.
Only from Ed and from Matt, those are the only comment letters received.
In the way you're reading that, Matt, we have 60 days from this meeting? Okay. So it really doesn't have to happen tonight.
So can we reach out to fire and police? I mean,
Yes.
'cause it sounds like we need a minute, honestly. I mean, that's the general census that I'm getting.
You think about tabling?
I mean, at least to reach out to the fire and the police, get some insight. Again, it's just the rezone to me. I don't hate the project, so I'd rather go in with everyone feeling good if it moves forward, right?
Yeah, we could come back with some more information regarding the challenges of developing the site for industrial purposes.
Traffic being the big one on pavement.
There's supposed to be some notification process to neighbors in the area?
That are,
That took place, I think. Good, thank you.
Speaking of that, is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak on behalf of the, or for or against the project?
Paul, no.
Either one.
I guess I'm a little concerned
If you would please come up to,
Oh, I would love to.
thank you. And please state your name and address for the record.
Stuff out of your way.
You can leave it there, I won't read it. My name's Claire Brady, 113 Westwood. I think you might be my neighbor. I'm slightly concerned about the fact that it being a mining site, residential homes, foundations, subsidence. I think historically in this area, we've had some issues with that. Not a geotechnical engineer, so I will not speak to exact science, but additionally, stormwater pollution entering the groundwater system is a concern. And I was concerned about the wetlands, but I think they addressed that. So just those two things.
Thank you very much. Okay, well, I guess at this point, anything else from the board members?
No.
No?
So, yeah, I'll move to table.
Table the
Just
rezone?
to table, yeah, because we don't have a date to push it to, right?
We don't.
And just so I'm clear, it sounds like at least coming back on industrial usability on the question of rezoning, a lot of the other issues that came up were.
Industrial usability, I'd also like to hear from maybe someone on the board. You went before them to
Yes.
have, so it would be nice to have a little bit of insight from their perspective.
I think
Just to examine it a little bit more closely.
We have some internal housekeeping to do.
Yeah.
Well, if I just could, I'm sorry to interrupt, but just to interject, as a point of administration, that was passed by resolution for the town board. Prior to any submittal of any projects, a concept presentation is given at a town board work session just for notification purposes. They didn't contemplate, they didn't ask questions, it's just to identify what the project that's coming to the town, and it's one of the requirements for pre-submittal.
And then they look to us to give our recommendations. But we certainly have, as I started to say, we have some housekeeping that we have to do with our other divisions and departments that we need to have some conversations to get a better sense of their thinking on this as well.
Sure.
Yeah, strictly forthcoming, I just need
Okay.
to be honest. Personally.
Yeah, say when your next meeting is, just so I have a sense of when maybe get a couple.
2 weeks from
We have
today.
2 weeks out.
Our next one is the 15th,
Okay.
and then
So if I may summarize the type of things you're looking for, you want something on traffic, we couldn't do a whole traffic study.
No.
We give you some information on traffic, you want some on the viability of the site for industrial use. And those are the two things primarily that you're looking at.
The viability of the site for industrial use, the traffic, the sight lines, I'm gonna go up and down pavement a little bit more,
Yeah.
with more attention at this point.
Mhm.
I personally, again, I just need to decide whether or not, like, I know we made a really pretty public statement not to, like, after we redid the rezoning and we did the mapping, to really try and stick to it, so I need to justify to myself that my goal would be something I truly think this should be rezoned.
Yeah, I think,
So I'll think about that.
you know, what we might provide some information on is an expert saying, you know, how viable is this for that use? How viable it is for industrial use? And, you know, at least you'll have some
the more
information. on
information you
this.
can get us, the better position we'll be in to make a decision.
Yeah.
That brought up the excellent point of are the soils suitable for foundation?
Yeah, the house pads are all on virgin soils. It's
What
not,
kind of a pit was this? Clay?
it's mainly clay.
Clay? They mine clay? And
Pardon?
across the street, they mine sand?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that cool? You don't know what you're gonna get into.
I actually think they took all the clay from here to cap that place on Transit and
Fall Brothers?
Worley.
Fall Brothers.
Full Brothers.
Yeah, I think that's where they were taking all that clay
Oh,
years ago.
That was a big cap.
To cap that,
Yeah, you kept full
that mess over there.
Yeah.
And I just sold the clay to where the Pioneer landfill behind the racetrack over there. I just sold the clay over there
Well, that one too, the little Gunville landfill.
2 years ago.
Yeah, regarding paving,
I want to make sure that we give you what you're looking
yeah,
for.
have a conversation with Highway at the county. I mean, they're not gonna, obviously, you don't have detailed designs, but you can at least have a conversation with them. They'll give you their thoughts of what they may require.
Yeah, I think you probably heard a lot of the conversations, the discussions that we had. If you can address those things, again, it puts us in a better position.
Okay. Thank you, appreciate it.
Sure. Thank you. So, John made a motion, Joe seconded. All those in favor for tabling this project, or tabling the rezone, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. And we have 2 abstains.
All right,
Thank
great.
you very
We'll see you in
much.
2 weeks. Thank you.
Okay, we will move on to our training.
Do you want to close?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
Say what?
I'm going to close the meeting. Yeah. I'm going to move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Okay, now we'll move on to our training.
There we go.
1 second.
Real quick phone call.
Oh,
All right, Carla, just gonna make a real quick.
yeah. We gotta shut the recording off.
Because otherwise, get some license to get.
Turn my child.
So what I wanted to do in the beginning, I was right. We should probably adjourn the